All right, hey there, everybody. It's RevKev here. Pray you're having an amazing day today. Hopefully, this is working. I'm trying a new camera setup, things like that. So, hopefully, you can hear me. So, I'm a few minutes late. I was having a hard time getting my microphone connected. Oh, don't hit mute. There you go. If you can hear me, give me a little thumbs up or let me know in the chat. So I can make sure this is actually working, because I don't see my little green lights kind of moving like this. So hopefully, man, I hope you guys are doing well. I really do. This, honestly, you can hear me. Awesome. Thank you. And it's great to have you here. I really appreciate it. Honestly, over the last couple of weeks, the whole YouTube thing has not been on my priority list, because, oh my goodness, it just seems like everything has completely changed. Everything about my role as a pastor, how we do ministry, how we do our job, how we care for people, how we reach out to people, how we support people, how we love people, like everything has changed. So it has been crazy around here. And so I just so appreciate everyone who's just a part of our community and who's kind of caring for one another in this time. So I wanted to just kind of jump in. I needed a break. I just needed an extended coffee time. And so I just put on a fresh pot of coffee. Let's just enjoy a cup of coffee together and kind of chat about how the world is going and check in with everyone, see how everybody's doing. Oh, it's good stuff. I have been drinking a crazy amount of coffee over the past 5 days. I think next week I'm gonna try to do a live stream at least every other day around the same time here at 4 o'clock, just to check in, just to, make sure people are okay. Like that's really is my heart, is, as part of this community. I just love to know people are okay. I love to know how I can be praying for people. And, and I know not everyone believes like I believe, and that's totally cool. But for me, this is just an opportunity to touch base as a fandom, as a geek community that just want to encourage one another and love one another. So that's kind of my hope, my desire. And I'm hoping by next week, I'm going to be practicing a little bit more social distance than I have been. There's just been so much work to do to get up to speed and get everything ready for this weekend that you can tell, like, I'm not at home, right? This is my church. This is kind of our stage a little bit. You can't really see what it looks like from this camera angle here, but I am in the building completely by myself. We have a few volunteers, a few of the other staff have been coming in to basically get ready for Sunday. We're moving completely 100% to a live service, and which has been awesome, playing with this technology to do this. And but hopefully now that we've got everything pre-recorded, we've pre-recorded music, did a couple of nights of that. We're doing one more night of that tonight with our Arabic speaking congregation. So there's going to be Arabic music kind of blasting in here this evening. Messages are being written and recorded and putting it all together. And then people are going to be working from home. So next week's stream might be me in my pajamas. Nobody wants to see that. So anyways, man, I just wanted to jump in on here. Like I said, I haven't looked at YouTube. I haven't looked at the channel. I haven't been watching anybody's videos. My apologies to all of you who I subscribe to, and I've been trying to comment and like your videos to help you out. It's been off the radar completely. And so as I just kind of wanted to reflect a little bit today on this whole social distancing. I know there's a lot of tension with this, a lot of back and forth. What news do you believe? What do you not believe? Oh, your church services are canceled here in the UK. So canceled like 100%. Same, you know what? Honestly, same here in Canada. We have been asked for any public gathering, that all public gatherings be stopped. And so we respect that, and we want to be a part of the solution. And so my church that I'm a part of, we are moving to an interactive online worship experience. This is a tool that was invented by a church down in Oklahoma City called Life Church, and they give their resources away for free. So churches all around the world can go to the church online platform and set up an interactive online church experience completely for free. And so my church is going to be doing that this Sunday. Website is live. You know what? I'll just type that website here in the chat, and if this is helpful to anyone, pass it on to your church leaders, pass it on to other people. I have been training dozens of other churches this past week on how to roll this out. Even though the doors might be closed to the physical building, I believe the church isn't the building. I believe the church is people, and we exist for the world. And so we're going to be moving to this online experience this weekend, and this is new. We'll see how it goes. So again, with the whole social distancing, I know there's tension on it, and some people are being very mindful of it. Some people absolutely hate it. But we'll see how this plays out, because again, as a leader in the community, I've been trying to be wise. I'm not giving into fear. I'm not giving into worry, but I want to make sure that people are cared for. I want to make sure that people are well taken care of. And let's make some good, sound leadership decisions, not on the fear of tomorrow, but on the data that we have today. So often we speculate, what about this? And what about this? And what about this? And what about this? We can't answer all of this. There is no answer for all of this right now. I was reading an article, and I wish I could find the article again. It was something that shot through my social media feed yesterday, and I was like, oh my goodness, I got to print this out. I got to share this with everybody. And this guy was talking about how what we are dealing with right now, there is nobody to learn from, right? As a pastor, there's no pastor that I can go to and ask him to mentor me and guide me and bounce my ideas off of, hey, how did you get through that last pandemic? All the self-isolation and the social distancing, how did you handle that, when that happened last time? We haven't done this before, right? So we're working with our volunteers who work with teenagers, right? How do you work with junior high boys? And how do you keep junior high boys active and engaged when you can't, get them in a room and play hockey together or, things like that? No one's done this before. And what can happen is, as leaders, we can be a little too comfortable with our leadership skill, right? Because we've been doing this for decades. And because we've been doing it for decades, we become our own worst enemy, because we just automatically assume the way we've been doing it for decades is the only way that it will work. Yeah, right? And so when we hear a new idea, oh, that'll never work. No, that'll never work. Oh, that'll never work. And this article was saying, well, the apostles didn't know how to do anything. They didn't know how to do church. They didn't know how to travel around the world and raise up leaders and plant new churches and deal with the Roman Empire that wanted to destroy them, and dealing with snake bites and dealing with people who hated them for the message that they were preaching. And, they had to figure it all out. And this article talked about, I can't remember the exact quote, but the heart of it was, we're just living in another age of the apostles. It's not that we're apostles or anything like that, but it's just that we're living in a day right now. We're going to figure it out. And we don't know if it's going to work. This church online thing that I'm rolling out, I don't know if it's going to work. Everyone might hate it. I kind of hope they don't, and I'm assuming they're not, but we're going to have to try it, see what it does, and then we can play around with this and tweak it and modify it. How we're going to connect with our junior high boys and junior high girls that can't all get together on Wednesday night. We're going to figure it out. Will conferencing work, web conferencing work to keep them occupied? We'll find out. That'll never work, because we've never dealt with a pandemic before. We've never dealt with self-isolation and social distancing before. all the variables have changed. So I'm actually quite encouraged by that. I kind of get a kick out of that as a leader. So yeah, that's kind of just some things that have been rattling around in my brain. So I've been trying my best to encourage other leaders, not to give in to fear. Don't give in to the hype. Don't freak out over these things, but be wise, make good, sound decisions, and let's encourage one another through all these challenges that we're going to find ourselves going through right now, right? So yeah, so just check the chat here. Yeah, certainly steps up your prayer. I found that the Lord takes your fear. The church online is a brilliant idea. Well, thank you for that. I can't take any credit for this at all. It was actually invented, like I said, by this church in Oklahoma City. They invented this 15 years ago. And they actually just shared this week that I think it's 1,100 churches just signed up this week. And they give all of this for free. They are not trying to make a nickel. It's free, always has been free, always will be free. And because they just want to make sure that churches are still connected. It's more than just simply watching a sermon online. It's interactive. People could be praying for one another privately in private chat rooms. It's an amazing tool and well worth checking it out. And so, yeah, but like you said, totally changes how you pray, right? Like I was actually just reflecting on this. I actually preached my sermon for Sunday. I preached it this morning. That's why I'm at church today. That's why I'm dressed a little nicer than I normally dress. I'm not wearing a Star Wars t-shirt. I normally wear Star Wars t-shirts all week long, but because I had to preach today, yeah, we prepped this all. We got this all ready on video. It's already on deck, ready to go live on Saturday night. Saturday night 6:30 is when we beta test the system to make sure we got all the bugs out of it. And then Sunday morning 10 a.m. going to gather everybody together and go through it together. So, but yeah, definitely changes how you pray. Definitely changes how you pray. And that's been really cool. Also, I find it changes how I've engaged with people. And that's kind of one of the big things that I've been looking at the past week is how do I move social media, YouTube, things like that from just this kind of passive thing, here's me, blah, 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 just spewing stuff and trying to, again, I love community, and community is a big deal for me, even though I'm an extreme introvert. Now, most people find that hard to believe that I'm introverted. I'm actually way more introverted than anyone would ever believe. Like just because I'm comfortable talking in front of hundreds of people on Sunday morning or because I'm comfortable in front of a camera does not mean I do community closeness with other people naturally. So that's been one of my hopes from the get-go with this YouTube channel is to just find ways to encourage and to build that kind of community. Because there's so much toxic stuff online. And I'm all for having an opinion and I'm all for having a very vocal opinion. If you look at my videos that I've put out in the last couple of weeks, I've confessed my total abandonment of Disney Star Wars. I'm done with Star Wars. Star Wars is done. Star Wars is dead to me. I'm not spending another nickel on Star Wars. It's just done. So I can have a very strong opinion. But it doesn't have to be so toxic. And so that's one of my heart's desire with this. Trying to figure out how to get more into gaming and different things like that. So I'm kind of hoping with a little bit of social distancing, I'm kind of looking at social distancing as a little bit of a gift, as a way to kind of slow down a little bit because things have been really busy in life over the last little while. Good opportunity to slow down, ease up a little bit, and kind of enjoy my family a little bit more, enjoy life a little bit more. And so that's kind of the plan going forward. I'm hoping I'm going to see if I can get an early birthday present so I can pick up a new game. I can geek out a little bit and kind of highlight that in the days ahead. And so, yeah. So hopefully, again, I really hope everyone's doing well. A lot of people I follow on Twitter, and so I've been praying for people on Twitter. And so what I would love, for people to do is to kind of share, what are you doing? So if you are kind of exercising social distance right now, what are you doing to stay active? What are you doing to stay engaged? How are you still connecting with people? are you playing any cool video games? Are you listening to any great music? Are you reading any really good books? I would love to know what those things are, right? Yeah, I found that the Star Wars stuff got too toxic. Really disappointed with the movies, but some folks make money online moaning about it. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, and not wrong. So, yeah, and so I've just kind of Disney Star Wars. I actually even cleaned out my office. You can see a video of me just getting all my Star Wars stuff out of my office. People would come into my office at the church and go, "Wow, Pastor Kevin's such a nerd. Look at all this Star Wars stuff." It's all gone now. So now I need to replace it with other nerdy stuff, maybe Marvel. We'll see how that goes. Better yet, DC. I'm more of a DC guy anyway, so I need a bunch of Superman stuff in my office. So yeah. So I'm just going to start collecting, information about games, music, and different things that people are using to kind of enjoy life a little bit more. That's kind of my goal over the next little while. So, we're going to have more coffee. Going to kind of connect a little bit, kind of encourage one another, spur each other on a little bit in the geek culture. That's my hope and that's my desire. So I just wanted to do a very quick live stream here. I actually didn't have a lot more prep to say than that. My goal was actually to keep this about 15 minutes. So I'm already running at 16 minutes because I talk for a living and I tend to ramble on a little bit because of it. So hey, just thanks for joining me today. I really appreciate you popping into the chat, and thank you to the thumbs up and the people who kind of connect. It really means the world to me. And hopefully, again, it's been a nuts over the last couple of weeks. But hopefully, the dust will settle a little bit, and we'll just kind of make more content and encourage one another. In the chat here. So a lot of us are still at work in the UK. We're holding the fort, right? I'm teaching, but school closes tomorrow. Essential workers have to go back next week to support children. That's fascinating. Okay, that's really cool. I didn't know that's what it's been going down in the UK. Here in Canada, school's done. Like, it's closed. This week in my province of Ontario, it's actually March break. So leading into March break, the government and the school boards have already decided to shut down, because they're closed now. And then they closed for 2 additional weeks after March break. So anyone who may have traveled over March break, the goal was to be able to catch them for that 14 days afterwards. So my kids don't go back to school until April the 6th. The teachers are there now, kind of working on some stuff, but the kids don't. I've got a son in college and a daughter in high school. They don't go back to school until April 6th. And then we just found out last week that my son's not going back to school at all this semester. So he's off this week. And then by next week, they're hoping to have in place a complete total online learning environment for his program so that he's going to do the rest of his semester. So all of April and a little bit of May. I think he goes to early May. He's still in school. He's not going back to his college. So he's at home working completely from home. And some of my teacher friends are talking about the same kind of thing for high school even, right? What could that look like, right? Yeah. Easter in 2 weeks. Realistically, we're looking 8 to 12 weeks closed. Very possible, very possible. And that's why we've been, as a leadership here at my church, that's why we kind of planned closed for 3 Sundays. We met in person last Sunday. We had a service in our church building last Sunday. It was the last one. I shut it down for the next 3 Sundays. And I was hoping to relaunch strong in Easter. But I'm prepping for online again for Good Friday and for Easter. This really is unprecedented. So I've been praying a lot for our teachers, for our medical people, doctors and nurses, and for the people who are like caring for us, people working at the grocery stores, people, who are doing these jobs, working restaurants, delivering food. Man, I so appreciate all of them. I was working here late last night at the church. I was here with my daughter. We were doing some video stuff. And we ordered pizza, and it's the same guy. Like, this guy's probably in his late 50s. No, older than that. He's got to be in his late 60s delivering pizza. It's always the same guy. that I order from, and he was coming here. It's like, man, I so appreciate that you're still out there delivering pizza, because what would I do without my pizza fix, you know, when I have to work late at night? So, man, I so appreciate everybody. So yeah, so I'm gonna sign off. I got a little bit more work that I want to get done, and like I said, I've got more video shoot stuff that we're doing this weekend. But I want to be a lot more regular. We're gonna have a lot more fun. We're gonna geek out, encourage each other. And until the next video, just thanks for popping in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the 3 thumbs up. 3 on a live stream. That's the highest I've ever gotten. So that's amazing. Praise God for that. And until the next video, God bless you. I'm praying for you. Just, you know, if ever you want me praying, just shoot me. Put it in one of the chats, you know, or in one of the comments. Just, you know, or reach out to me on Twitter. Send me a direct message. I'm always happy to pray for people that way. And until the next time we get together, God bless you. And look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care, man.